Can you elaborate on the medicinal brewing machine? Does that have an orc? But I would love to get a tutorial on how to make this machine. Your videos are pretty nice. Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you.
How did you make the auto brewer?
Alright, I'll tell you. Here it is, the automatic bulk potion brewing machine that I used in this video. It's got
14 brewing steps for brewing up to 42 potions at once.
Wait, what's happening?
An ultra-fast item refill system.
Excuse me.
Fully automatic bottle filling mechanics.
Listen, this is my Minecraft tutorial.
High quality assured smart hopper system.
Call the police.
Advanced hopper clock technology.
Yeah, there's a guy in my
And
house.
sorting algorithm and water bottle fill safe built in.
Okay. You'll probably only use these last two bits if you're playing modded like I was when I made this. Because no potion in vanilla Minecraft is stackable and thus cannot be sorted like this. So for this tutorial, I'll be removing this last part. Actually, I should leave this here just in case people do want to use this. Now, it's been a year since I built this. I wonder if it still works. So there's water bottles in here. I put ingredients in here. There you go. Potions are brewing. That's a good noise. Then when I flip this lever, they should all go into the chest. There you go. Potions are taken out. Water bottles are put back in. And then awkward potions go in here. Wait, there's a lot of them. Stop. Wait, that's too many. Hold on. Oh god. Oh, so other than it filling up this chest immediately and overflowing the system, yeah, this thing still works. Almost a little too well. So without further ado, let me show you how to build this. Let's start with some hoppers. 7 hoppers, then a gap in the middle, then 7 more, and have them face forward like this. And this is where your brewing stands will go. Then have a hopper line going in front of that, and this will be your output. If you're feeling snazzy, you can have your output here too. That's totally fine. Now I'll have hoppers going into the back of these brewing stands, with another hopper on top of those. And on top of that, another hopper line going in this direction. Now put more hoppers on top of the brewing stands. This is where people will click off the video to look for the best iron farm. More hoppers on top of that. And then another hopper line going across, just like the one from before. There you go, that's a lot of hoppers. If you're wondering why there's this gap in the middle, I don't know, ask the person that made hoppers, not me. Now let's put a comparator at the end of both of these hopper lines. That goes into a torch and that goes into a repeater. Put some blocks in the back. Then have a line of redstone run all the way to the end here, which ends in a torch like this. Then we'll put a barrel on this first hopper and a hopper going into that. And we can do the same thing on this side. So have this comparator go into a torch, repeater, redstone, torch, barrel, hopper. Then you can have a chest here for your water bottles and a chest here for whatever ingredient you want to use. So the way this works is once an item reaches this last hopper here, it's going to turn off this torch and thus unlock all the hoppers below here, which will allow them to go down into the brewing stands below. Same goes for this hopper line, which will make it distribute the items evenly. Next, we want to lock these hoppers so that the bottles will actually stay in the brewing stands while the brewing is happening. So put some blocks underneath these hoppers. Then on the back of these blocks have a repeater go into each of them. Put a target block behind the repeaters and a redstone torch on top of the target blocks. Put a block above the torches so that they lock these hoppers here. And then a line of redstone going into the target blocks. And you'll end up with something that looks like this. And what you'll see is if you put a lever here, it will lock the hoppers below the brewing stands while unlocking the ones going into the brewing stand, and vice versa. So this way you can control things going into the brewing stand and things going out of it. But we're going to do that automatically, of course. And we can start by putting a redstone torch right here. And now we'll need a delay. And we can do that with 2 comparators like this, going into a circle. Put a repeater here on 2 ticks, and then above this gap in this little divot right here, you'll put a sticky piston, which will push a block down. So basically this will be our system for the hoppers to turn on and off as they should, which is controlled by this piston, which will only be pushed down if there are enough items in the system to begin with. So that way you will always have 3 potions brewing at a time per brewing stand. Next, we're gonna want to build a hopper clock over here. Just like that, and then you can go ahead and put a lever here, which will be your on-off switch. Right now, the system is turned off, and you gotta put 56 items into this hopper clock. And then lastly, go ahead and put an observer next to this hopper going into this repeater. Now this should already work, but let's go ahead and put in something a little extra. Let's make it so that the bottles automatically get refilled with water via this dispenser here. Put some water there, and then you probably want to put a block on top of this so that none of the items get spat out everywhere. Then we can put a hopper going into the dispenser with a chest on top. And this will be where you put your empty bottles. Now, in order to fire this dispenser automatically when needed, we're going to read this chest, which holds our water bottles. We want the dispenser to activate anytime this chest is not full, basically. So, if we put a comparator into the side of this one, and then we'll compare this chest to this hopper. Now, I have 4 shovels and 41 sticks in here, which is a configuration that works, I guess. Put a sticky piston into that, with an observer facing down going into this block up here, and then another observer facing the other one. Now that will start ticking like crazy, but we do have a fix for that. What we can do is we can read the dispenser here with a comparator, then have that go into a torch, and with a repeater here, there you go. Now when the dispenser is empty, the observer clock below here will turn off. And that is it. Let's go ahead and put down a couple of output chests. Also important, you want this dispenser to be full so that the water bottles always get spat out and not get put back into the dispenser. And there you go, it's making water bottles, and they're making their way down into the brewing stands. Good. Now once this chest gets filled up, it will stop making more water bottles. In the meantime, we can go ahead and fill this chest with our ingredient, and then that will start making its way into the brewing stands. Now, unfortunately, one thing you will need to do yourself is fill up these brewing stands with blaze powder. But by the time these run out of blaze powder, you'll have made a ton of potions. Now, before you turn on the machine, you want to make sure that the potions of the first batch have all been brewed correctly. So that seems to be the case now. Be sure to check that every time you turn the machine on. And it looks like we're ready to go, so fire all engines! New bottles have gone into the brewing stands. The first ones have gone into the chest. And there goes the next batch. Into the chest they go. And new bottles make it in. So after only 3 batches, we have already a chest full and almost another one. My goodness, these certainly fill up quick, don't they? Now, if you want to brew some more specific potions, you can do that by linking multiple of these together. But for the next one, what you would do, instead of filling it with water bottles, you would instead fill it with the potions you get from the first one. And then the ingredient would be whichever comes next in the brewing process. I already had to put in more chests here, because my god, they fill up so fast. But there you go, hope that explanation did it for you. If not, there will be a world download in the description to help you out further, which will have both versions. Now, does this thing work in Bedrock Edition? I don't know why you're even trying to do redstone in Bedrock to begin with. And that's it, now go out there and make a crap load of potions, you sick bastard.